Get the hell out of here! What is that thing? No! It's a monster!
Which way to go?
I'm lost! It's coming after us!
How the hell you get out of here?
It's all over.
Sheena!
Alright everyone, stay calm and be careful. This is the Labyrinth, an unending maze in which we are trapped, and it is said to have been created by the one known as Asterios, the Minotaur. Born as a villain to be slain by heroes, he is a fearsome and mighty figure who can... Huh? Not. Asterios, the tragic being remembered as the Minotaur, is a one-star berserker in Fate Grand Order. Yet despite his low rarity and hulking appearance, he confounds expectations as a low-rarity hybrid servant, proficient across two separate niches. While his active skills are dedicated towards damage dealing and buster crits, his true potential lies in his debuffing Noble Phantasm. At first glance, a one-star berserker with an offensive skill set and a triple buster deck may not seem an effective support option, and yet, similar to fellow one-star servant Mata Hari, Asterios is one of Fate Grand Order's greatest debuffers. This is through his Arts Noble Phantasm, Chaos Labyrinth. Chaos Labyrinth debilitates the enemy's offense and defense in both the short and long term. At inception, it reduces the attack and defense of all enemies by up to 20 and 30% respectively, the latter scaling with overcharge for 6 whole turns apiece. This helps masters take control of the battlefield, facing off foes who are weakened on both ends for a sustained period. However, as useful as this long-term effect is, especially in longer battles, it is the NP's post-rank-up short-term effects that are most exciting. On top of the aforementioned long-term effects, Asterios further reduces both the attack and defense of all enemies by 40% for one turn, equating to a potential maximum of a 60% attack reduction and 70% defensive reduction for that turn. Offensively, this obliterates the enemy defenses, allowing his allies to make short work of them, making Asterios a viable support option in difficult fights against powerful opponents. And yet, perhaps more interesting is the attack debuff. Lowering the attack power of all enemies, it renders even the strongest hero impotent, and if paired with other defensive buffs from the likes of MASH, can even allow servants to tank an enemy Noble Phantasm. Chaos Labyrinth is without doubt a highly effective Noble Phantasm. But there's a catch. Asterios actually has to be alive to use it. And that is easier said than done. The poor fellow has almost no survivability whatsoever. Being a berserker, everything has class advantage over him, and being a 1-star, his health is pitifully low. A single enemy attack, or even the slightest breeze, is ripe to take him down. That said, he does have one way to fight back. His second skill, Natural Demon rank A++, increases his defense by up to 40% for 3 turns. But even this can only protect him so much, so don't expect him to hang around for long. And it's to be expected. After all, he's only a hulking figure with A++ endurance who stands toe-to-toe with Heracles, a wilting flower, no doubt. This can make incorporating him into lineups somewhat tricky, as he struggles to survive over the course of a battle. Thus, the most viable strategy can sometimes be to substitute him in shortly before he needs to use his NP, via the Chaldea Combat Uniform Mystic Code, or its human forms, Arash and Chenggong. Then there is the matter of filling his NP gauge. While he has solid NP gain on his Arts card, he has only one of them, and so will likely need outside battery. But these caveats aside, Asterios is a phenomenal 1-star servant. I should, however, note, at this point, that there is an exception to his constant struggle against death, but it likely involves using him in a slightly different way. What is interesting about Asterios is that none of his active skills are dedicated towards his primary niche. Rather, they help give him a second, that of a Buster Crit damage dealer. His first skill, Monstrous Strength rank A, boosts his attack power by up to 30% for 3 turns, helping to compensate for his poor stats. And at the centre of this 3-turn stint is 1 turn dedicated to Buster Crits. This is powered by his third and unique skill, Labyrinth of the Abyss rank C, which enhances his Buster effectiveness by up to 30% for 1 turn, and massively increases his star gather rate for that same turn, easily overwriting his naturally poor star weight as a berserker. Taken together, these buffs allow Asterios to output damage far beyond his 1-star rarity via powerful Buster Crit Brave Chains. Alternatively, Masters can choose to incorporate Chaos Labyrinth. This does sacrifice the benefits of a Buster Brave Chain. On the other hand, enemies are instead afflicted by the incredible defensive debuffs. But of course, to do all this, Asterios needs to overcome his inherent fragility. Thankfully, as the team's damage leader, the party can now be built around him, using taunts and defensive supports. Examples include Chevalier d'Eon, Georges, and Mash. However, the best options are Leonidas and Chen Gong. This is because they not only provide various defensive tools to help him survive, multiple taunts from Leonidas, and a targetable taunt and defensive buff from Chen Gong, but they also help facilitate and drastically improve Asterios' offense. Asterios can be substantially improved as a damage dealer, provided he is supplied with 2 things by supports: stars and buffs. Leonidas is a phenomenal support in this regard, as he not only provides a 25% Buster buff, but also up to 25 stars via his own Noble Phantasm, the same source of his primary taunt, Thermopylae Enomotia. Buster Crit supports are also excellent choices, particularly Chen Gong or Merlin, both of whom can significantly enhance Asterios' damage far beyond his own potential. Asterios is a fine servant, and far outperforms his 1-star rarity. Not only can he be a solid Buster Crit damage dealer who has simple and easy access to multiple well-fitting supports, but his Noble Phantasm is one of the most debilitating in the game to enemies, thus making him one of the best choices for anti-boss or anti-wave supports. If you're looking for a cheaper option to use in teams that doesn't take up too much party cost, always a benefit of low-rarity servants, consider giving him a go. I've been SteamDunes, thank you for watching! If you enjoyed, please leave a like, comment and subscribe, and feel free to check out some of my other videos, such as my recent video on fellow 1-star debuffer, Masahari. I've been SteamDunes, and thank you for watching.